Alrighty, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Tuesday night and I'm back. Hopefully no computer issues tonight. It was acting a little glitchy earlier, so I hope I'll be able to get through this with no glitches. But just in case I do, just know that I will be re-recording and uploading it to my YouTube channel, so you can always check it out there. But for those of you that don't know me, my name is Julie Brown. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I do these lives every Tuesday night at 7, bearing computer issues like of what happened last week. We had some really strong winds here, so yeah, had a lot of issues with that. But if you're new to watching me, welcome. Also, you can always comment, put in your comments, let me know you're here. You can ask questions through comments. And I love to hear from you guys while I'm doing this. Granted, I do look down a lot when I'm creating these cards, but I do look up once in a while to see what comments are scrolling through. So let me take care of some housekeeping while people are getting on tonight. So here is the November hostess code. So for those of you that don't already have a demonstrator and you'd like to place an order with me, you can do that with this hostess code listed there. You can order through me at juliebrown.stampinup.net. My email is juliescreativestampin@gmail.com. And then I have a Pinterest, Facebook, and Instagram page at Julie's Creative Stamping. But if you want to check out my YouTube channel, you've got to do juliebrown.Julie's Creative Stamping. I am in the process of building a blog/website, but the blog section of my website is up and running. So you can always check out some of my cards there at juliescreativestamping.com. Alrighty, so first I need to announce a special that's going on right now with Stampin' Up. So they are having their seasonal sale, and it started today, and it is running through November 18th at like maybe 10 p.m. So anyway, they've got like 10% off punches. I think it's 20% off of dies, 15% off stamp sets. I might be off on the percentages a little bit, but you know, go to my juliebrown.stampinup.net and check out that seasonal sale because it's a really good sale. So what I decided to do tonight, I had something else planned, but I thought, you know what, the sale's going on right now. And so what I thought I would do is I looked through the annual catalog and I found 2 stamp sets that you would normally not even think about putting them together. And so I'm going to be getting those put together tonight. And so let me show them to you. So the first one is the Trimming the Tree. And I'm going to be putting up the item numbers for you because everything's on sale in the annual catalog. And that's why I decided to pick something from the annual catalog so that you guys would be able to benefit from that if you see something that you really fall in love with. So Trimming the Tree is the stamp set. And then the dies are tree trimming dies. Now, I can't remember if this was a special because I know when this came out in the catalog, it was not a bundle. And so I'm not even sure if you can still get these dies. I hope you can. But I do know that obviously it goes with this set. And then I'm pairing it with the Elephant Parade bundle, which I know you guys are going, what? How are you going to pair these together? Now, the first number that you see listed there is the bundle, the number for the bundle. But I think it's actually cheaper if you buy the stamp set and the dies separately. You can finagle that around and see, but the stamp set is the number in the parentheses right after stamp set, and the dies are in the parentheses right after dies. So these are 2 really cute sets, and I decided to fuse them together. Now, I've got to tell you, the reason that I did this is it is actually in memory of my daughter who passed away last December. We're coming up on her 1-year anniversary, and she loved elephants and she loved Christmas. So I decided to create 2 cards tonight in memory of her that celebrate these 2 things that she loves so much. So let's get started, shall we? So let me flip this back around and we'll get started. Let me just bring in the stuff for the first card. Okay, so what we're going to do is, what I decided to do with this card too is use some of the designer series paper that I feel gets overlooked a lot. I just feel like a lot of people, we get so caught up in the designer series paper that comes with the, hey Mel, that comes with like sweets and stuff. But we also sell this 6x6 designer series paper for all of the different color families. And so I'm going to be using the Regals tonight. But again, this is on sale as well. And so I wanted to bring that in and show that to you guys as well. So I'm actually going to kind of put the if I can even talk tonight, I'm going to put the designer series paper on first and get that out of the way. And then we're going to start our Elephant Parade and Trimming the Tree fusion. And so, yeah, so like I said, I decided to do this in memory of my daughter because even though she loves Halloween because their family used to dress up in family costumes every year, Christmas was one of her favorite holidays. And then, of course, elephants are her favorite animal. So I thought, what better way to celebrate the things that she loved than to fuse them together. So that's what we're doing tonight. All right, so basically this is actually, you can see it's the other side of this. And so what I did is I just kind of centered this top and bottom and then left, I'm thinking that's like about 1/4 of an inch maybe. Could be almost 1/2 an inch. All right, sorry, that's not going. I want to make sure that's straight. Okay, so then I'm going to just put those two together like so. And then we're going to bring these together. And again, another reason hey Shanine, the other reason I decided to do these two tonight is because of the sale that's going on. And I wanted to show you some stuff in the annual catalog that we can put. So everything I'm showing you is in the annual catalog. And the designer series paper is on sale, and both of those stamp sets are on sale. All right, so then what I did is and the dies are all on sale, right? So I brought in the deckled rectangle dies, and here's the number for that. And I cut one of those pieces out. And then what I'm going to do is bring in the stamps and the stamp pad. Sorry, I'm sitting my stamps in a different place. You probably hear my chair rolling back and forth because everything's tended to get really crowded to the right of me. So I wanted to do this tree in like 2 different greens. And then I decided, you know what? I don't have to have 2 different greens. Like I tell you guys all the time, I can actually ink it up and stamp it off because this portion of the tree needs to be the lighter color. All right, so I'm gonna make sure I put this under there. I was stamping this earlier and I wasn't getting a great image, so I wanted to mentally tell myself to make sure I brought in my silicone mat. Oh no, I forgot to stamp off. Dang it. I just got through telling you I was going to stamp off. I wonder if I can turn this one over. It's not going to look quite as cute, but I'm going to turn it over. This is what happens when I start talking and I get sidetracked. Okay, so sorry, my dog has decided to whine at me all of a sudden. So please excuse him. All right, so we're going to stamp that one. And I stamped off because I wanted this to be lighter. Because now I'm going to bring in this other stamp that has kind of some detailed leaves on it. And we're going to get that lined up and stamp that. But I did that with the shaded spruce, and see what happens. So when you stamp off, you get a lighter shade of the shaded spruce. and then you can full ink the tiny spots. So that's just a way that, you know, I know a lot of you that are getting started, you know, you don't have all of the different colors, but you like to have kind of this shading like I just did, and that's how you do it. You stamp off and move forward from there. Okay, so then I did something else with this. Something I haven't done in a long time. Mel, you're going to be so proud of me. This is something that Mel taught me to do all the time. And so I'm going to bring in my sponge dauber for the shaded spruce. And I'm going to just, we called it chalking around the edges. Because I kind of I like that this is kind of a torn look. And I wanted that to be a little bit highlighted here. So I'm just inking it up, and then I'm just barely touching these edges. So Mel, who's on here with us tonight, is the lady that every time she taught a class that I was in, we chalked all of the edges. But isn't it pretty? Do you see how it just gives it that? It's just an extra little oomph that it gives it when you do that. But I haven't done it in a long time, so it's good that you're on tonight, Mel. Got to see me do that. All right, then the next thing we're going to do is bring in like this little, it's not really a tree stand. It's kind of like, it's like this was a live tree sitting in a, like a bucket. So I'm going to use crumb cake for this. And I'm just going to come in and stick that on like so. Love it. Yay, Mel. I know, it was so funny. I was looking at this card as I was designing it, and I was like, you know, it just needs one, you know, look at my fingers already, you guys. Oh my goodness, I'm such a mess tonight. Make sure I'm not touching anything. Doesn't take me long to become a mess. I'm going to try to clean some of this off my hands. Oh my goodness. I can't believe I'm already that messy. So yeah, so I had, you know, I was putting this together earlier and I kept looking at it and I thought, God, it just needs something. And that little chalking was really all it needed. So the next thing I did was I cut out these little corner pieces. And this is from the Very Best Trio Punch. It's this one right here. And so I brought in see guys, I'm trying to help you out here, bringing in extra dies, bringing in punches, you know, trying to give you some ideas of things to purchase with this, you know, sale that's going on right now. Oh my gosh, of course I grabbed the one that's empty. All right. Or maybe they're all empty. Whoops, nope, that one is definitely not empty. All right, so then what I'm going to do with these is I'm just going to take them and I'm going to set them on these corners because it just gives this a really cool look with these corner edges on there. And again, that's another punch that's underutilized. And so I was trying to pull things out of the annual catalog that, you know, maybe you guys had missed. All right, so let's get the bottom ones on. And this one last one, and then I've got my corners on. And then I'm going to go ahead and actually put this, oh, I've got to stamp one more thing. And then I'm going to go ahead and mount this on the card front. But see how cute that looks when you add those corners? Super cute, right? Again, a punch that's underutilized because, you know, sometimes you just look in the catalog at things and they don't make sense, or you just don't notice them because, you know, we're oohing and awing over all of the things that really jump out at us. So I'm going to take the bow that comes in that Trimming the Tree set. and we're gonna do a little bow on the top of the tree in crumb cake. I like using crumb cake because it's the closest color that we have that emulates gold. And so you guys will see me using it a lot. All right, so then what I'm gonna do is bring in my dimensionals and my take your pick tool. And oh, I was like, what happened? That was the one, for those of you coming in late, that was the one I stamped in. I didn't stamp off before I stamped it, so I had to flip it over. That was funny though. I looked down and I didn't see those corners on there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I know I just put those corners on there. You know, that's the kind of stuff that makes you think you're going crazy, right? It's like looking down and knowing you've done something, but, you know, looking down and not seeing it. And it's like, oh, it's because I turned it over. I can be such a goober sometimes. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to bring this in. And we're going to stick that right there. So I pre-colored, oh, don't tell me I've lost them already. I lose my pieces all the time. So I stamped one of the little elephants and one of the little mice and colored them in with blends ahead of time so that you guys, now the next card you're going to have to watch me color a little bit. I've done all the pre-coloring that I can. And so, yeah, you're going to have to watch me color a little bit. So I hope you guys are up for that tonight. Okay, so now I'm going to kind of do my dry setting. I'm going to put this little elephant here, and I know I need to put a dimensional over on this edge over here. So I'm going to try to get that as close as I can over there. Then I'm going to kind of reset, make sure I've got it right. And then bring in my Tombow liquid glue. And we're going to add our little elephant. And if you guys missed the why on why I decided to do an elephant at Christmas, I don't want to keep repeating it, but you'll have to go back and look at the beginning. Because I do have a purpose for combining these two. Then I'm going to take, look how cute that little mouse is. Isn't he so super cute? Super cute! So then we're going to glue him in place. And he's just going to kind of sit right here in this corner. So then what I decided was I wanted to make this look like the elephant was decorating the tree, right? Because if I'm going to add an elephant, there's got to be a purpose. And the mouse too. So I'm using our red rhinestones. And we're going to put one in his trunk right there. But then we're going to go ahead and add a bunch of these rhinestones to the top of this tree. Because obviously he's already gotten, or she has already gotten, that part of the tree already decorated. Gonna bring this in. Oh, hey, Janet. So I'm doing a fusion tonight. It's the Trimming the Tree set from the annual catalog with the Elephant Parade. So this is my fusion. All right, so let me bring that closer so you can see. I put a little jewel on his trunk to make it look like he was decorating. And then we've got the little mouse here, who's also got a little ornament in his hand, right? All right, so then this is one of the dies that is in the Trimming the Tree set. And so I'm going to bring in my crumb cake ink. And you know what? Let me just keep bringing this in here. I think it's easier for you guys to see when I put it on that. And I'm going to bring in a sentiment from the Trimming the Tree. So I did not use any of the sentiments from the Elephant Parade because I was trying to create, show you guys how you can take, you know, this elephant parade and this trimming the tree and fuse them together to design Christmas cards. That was kind of my purpose. Oh, good. I'm glad you guys think it's cute. And so I'm going to bring in that shaded spruce dauber. And just so you guys know, I do a little labeling on all of my daubers just so I know which one is which. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I am going to chalk around these edges. Again, this just kind of gives it a little extra oomph. And I seriously don't do this as much as I should, because it's a really quick way to just, do you see the difference on how that pops now? Let me bring it closer. Just adding that green around the edges just helps it to pop a little bit. All right, so then we're going to take this and we're going to add this up here. But obviously I need to put some dimensionals on this left side on the back. And the way I did that was I just I always kind of flip it down. This is just kind of a little tip. So once I've put my sentiment on it, I always turn it like face down, but like I flip it like towards me. And that way I know this is the top. And that helps me with where to place dimensionals and stuff on the back side. And it also helps me, like, because I'm not flipping it, you know, I know this is the left side when I flip it back over, if that makes sense. And then on this side, we're going to put some liquid glue. Alrighty. And then we're just going to bring this in so that it sits, and I'm gonna, excuse me as while I move this to make sure I've got it on here straight. Okay, that looks pretty straight. So then now I can push it down a little bit more. Then we're gonna bring back in some of those red rhinestones. Oh, now it's not looking straight. Did it move when I, okay, there we go. Oh no. Oh my goodness, I'm really, all right, whoops. And I'm just gonna put, there's little holes here. I don't know if you guys can see it. And basically I'm just covering up those little holes with these red rhinestones. And then I'm gonna stick one up there. And then to finish the front, I'm going to bring in some of our linen thread. And I'm going to tie a double bow and put that on my little elephant. So to do a double bow, so basically like normally we just like wrap it once and then we go through and tie it. So I'm actually going to wrap it one more time and bring it around. And then I'm going to cut that edge. And so I've wrapped it around twice. Now I'm going to go through the top, maybe. Pull that through the top, wrap it around all of those strings that are right there, and then we just tie our knot. I keep trying to show this to you guys so that you learn how to use it. All right. So because this twine is so thin, sometimes when we put glue dots, it tends to look like you can see the glue dot. So what I do is before I pull the glue dot off, I take my Take-A-Pick tool and I actually kind of fold it into itself. So it's a lot thinner. So now I have a really nice thin piece that I can lay right where I want that bow to go. And then I can stick that bow on there and you don't see the glue dot because it is hidden by the bow. So when you fold it in half like that, it helps to hide that. And then for the inside, I did this ahead of time. So it says, may your season be merry and bright. And I put I went ahead and stamped and colored ahead of time. And I'm gonna even, I don't normally put rhinestones on the inside, but I just needed this elephant to also have a little ornament in her little trunk. Aren't these elephants cute? Super cute. But again, I'm just trying to show you. So these are all sets, again, from the annual catalog. Again, that seasonal sale is going, it started today and it's going through the 18th while supplies last. And so if you see something you like tonight, don't hesitate. So what do you guys think? Do you guys like the elephant? I was trying to think of some cards that, some sets I could fuse together. And again, so those of you that came in late, my daughter who recently passed away, her favorite holiday was Christmas and her favorite animal was elephants. So this is kind of in memory of Cassie, because those were the two things that she truly, truly loved. And so when I saw this, I thought, oh, I've got to do that. So my next card is same two sets, but this time it's kind of like a Christmas tree decorated the way an elephant would do it. So let's get started on that one. So wait till you see this one. This one is super cute. All right, so I'm going to come in with this, and I'm going to bring my trees back in, but this time I'm using Evening Evergreen and Soft Succulent because I wanted to show you guys how, you know what, I got to clean these stamps. So that first time, to make a lighter and a darker, I inked it up and I stamped it off. This time I have two colors that coordinate really well with each other. And so I can, instead of having to stamp off, oh, let me bring you guys back out. I can just bring in the lighter and the darker shades, and it works really good. But I just wanted to show it to you both ways. So that's why we did a shaded spruce tree on the first one, and this one we're doing Soft Succulent and Evening Evergreen. Okay, so we're going to come in and we're going to do this tree here. And then I am going to, oops, I didn't get the bottom. There you go. And then we're going to come in up here, and I'm just doing it. I didn't ink back up, so it gives it like you still have the trees, but they're kind of in the background. All right. So let's do that one more time with the Soft Succulent, but this time we're going to go over here, and we're going to bring it in down here, and then immediately come in with the other one right there. All right, so there we go. Now I'm going to have to move this because it's got ink on it. All right, so now what we're going to do is we are going to come in with the Evening Evergreen. Let me clean this one. And we're going to put those little details in there. Alrighty, and we're just going to kind of line that up. And I'm only putting the details in the darker tree. I'm not bothering to try to put it in the other one because I think it looks fine without it. All right, and then there's that one. Alrighty, let me just clean that. I probably should have gone and gotten re-wetted my chamois because it's drying out. I've been working with it, and so it's kind of dried out a little bit. All right, so we're going to go ahead and kind of build our image and work on this. And I'm going to bring in, which one? Oh, guess I don't have it on a block. I sure don't. Okay. That threw me off. I thought I had these all on blocks. All right, so we're going to do this little elephant that is sitting. And you guys are going to have to watch me color. I apologize. But I didn't know any other way to do this one. So I'm going to ink that up. And I'm going to, oh my gosh, I'm getting ink all over me. And I'm going to kind of bring this elephant in a little bit like off this bottom edge. And you'll understand why in a minute. So he's kind of, right now he's floating, right? We call that floating when you don't ground them so that they look like they're on the ground. Let me just clean this guy. Oh my goodness, yeah, I need a better chamois because this one is not, it's almost completely dry. I was working with my grandkids earlier and I left it sitting open. Okay, so now I'm just going to bring in, and I used the smoky slate. So I'll try to do this fairly quickly so you guys aren't horribly bored. And so I'm using the dark smoky slate first. And these are our blends. And then I'm just going to kind of use the markings that are already on the stamp set to put in some of these highlights. So I'm trying to get his little toenails, although most of this on the bottom is actually going to be hidden. So I'm not going to spend like a ton of time getting that perfect. All right, so then I'm just going to come in and we're going to start with this trunk. And remember, it's about saturation, not pressing hard. It really is about how like the amount of ink that you get on here that makes it all blend together. A lot of people think you have to push really hard with these pens, but you don't. It's just about getting that moisture in there. And when you know you're doing it right, when you look on the back and it's leaking through. That's what it's supposed to do. I had one of my ladies that the first time that she used it, she thought she had done something wrong because it leaked through. She was used to using our Stampin' Up markers, and they do not bleed through. And so she thought something was wrong, and I'm like, no, that's the whole blending process. It's got to get really wet, and because of that, it's going to bleed through. All right, so now he's all nice and colored. And then I'm going to bring in dark balmy blue. And we're going to give her some blue eyes. And then this is the light petal pink. And we're going to do the inside of the ears with light petal pink. All right. So my elephant is colored. So now what I'm going to do is this set has, when I say set, so the dies that let me bring it in, the tree trimming dies. So I used this one right here. And then this die right here was the sentiment on the first one, just so you guys know. I haven't used a ton of these dies, but you can see how many dies come in this set. But I'm using this little basket one right now. And then the other thing that I have already cut out, but the other set of dies that I'm using, and again, dies are on sale right now, is the Stylish Shape dies. So those are the two dies that I'm using for this one. So I'm going to just turn this over and add some dimensionals. But I need to be careful with where I add my little mini, let me turn this over because that's kind of my mini dimensionals, because I'm going to be kind of shoving stuff down in the top of this. So again, that's why it's a good idea to kind of have your plan in place so that you know where you need to put your dimensionals ahead of time. And so I am going to bring up one more little row right there. And put one right there. and put one right here. But see how I haven't gone all the way up to this edge because I need to be able to shove some stuff down. And you'll see that in just a quick second. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little basket and I am going to line it up. See, I've got to move this because I need to be able to see the white. I am going to line that up just like that so that it looks like the elephant is sitting behind. So now I'm going to bring you in a little bit if it will let me. There, let me move this down. Okay, so then what I did is this set, the Elephant Parade set, of course it has all the dies that cut out the elephant and the mouse and some grass and balloons, but it's got this one die that cuts out peanuts. So I have pre-cut them out and here they are. And so now I am going to start building this. I'm going to bring my tweezers in because it just works a little bit better. So bear with me because this does take a little bit to get all of these peanuts in here. But this card turns out super cute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one whole back row of these peanuts. And I'm just, like I said, I'm just putting a little, this is liquid glue. I just have it in a different container because this container allows me to, it has a thinner tip to it. So it's a lot easier to put adhesive on these little tiny pieces without like overloading them. So this one I want to kind of turn the other way. And so I'm just going to be going, so bear with me as I kind of go back and forth. We've got a lot of peanuts to add to this one. But you guys are going to I think you're going to like it. I fell in love with this card when it was all done. And all I'm doing is just adding these little peanuts. And the nice thing is that die cuts out 3 at a time. So I know some of you are like, oh my gosh, there's no way I would want to cut out all those peanuts. But it did cut out 3 at a time. And it was amazing how quick I got this whole little bucket of peanuts cut out. All right, so here's this. This is kind of a more intense card. I haven't done like these in a while. And then I'm going to come in with another layer of this is crumb cake. I used crumb cake for these peanuts. Now you can take a sponge dauber and you can take your, do a crumb cake sponge dauber and daub on the top of these peanuts. And you would see, because I don't know if you guys can see, but let me see if I can bring one close enough for you to see. Probably have to put see how it's got those like detailed information. Hey, Glenna. So glad you're here. So we're doing a fusion tonight for those of you that are just joining us. I'm combining a couple different sets from the annual catalog since we're having such a wonderful sale. And I'm showing you how to put these together to make some fun Christmas cards. So this fusion is trimming the tree and Elephant Parade along with their dies. Oh, I need to quit reaching across the front of the camera, don't I? All right. And then the last two that we're going to put in here is I cut some out of Night of Navy. So we're going to add just a pop of color with this Night of Navy one, but I think I want this other edge up. So that one's going to kind of fit right there. And then I did Mary Merlot as well. You know, Mary Merlot was a color I didn't use a lot, but in the last few years, I've really gotten to the point where I use them a lot. Okay, so now remember I told you this card, the last card was like so let me remind you, here is the last card. And that was the elephant decorating the tree the way we would have decorated it, right? With little Christmas bulbs. This time, this little elephant is gonna decorate this tree the way she would like to decorate it. And so we're gonna be using peanuts to decorate this tree. So we're just gonna bring in these peanuts and we're gonna start layering them on the tree, kind of like a garland. Right? Don't you guys think that an elephant would decorate with peanuts? I think so. And like I said, this actually goes pretty quick. I remember when I started working on this and I thought, oh God, maybe this will take like way too long. And it actually goes, I'm able to build it pretty quick. And so you can see I'm just kind of doing a pattern where I'm kind of going back and forth with the crumb cake peanuts and the Mary Merlot peanuts and the Night of Navy peanuts. Okay, so there's our first row. And so now I'm gonna come up here and start, and for some reason I found it easier to keep going from left to right on this. And because I did try to kind of come in this way, but maybe it's just, I don't know. I just found it easier to design this by always coming in from the left side and bringing it to the right. So here's our next row here. And then we're going to bring in a Night of Navy. I can get these to quit sticking to me. I know, don't you guys think that the elephant would actually, I think an elephant would definitely be decorating with peanuts. Because, you know, they love peanuts. Or at least that's what we've always told ourselves, right? We're going to bring that up. And again, one of the reasons I use liquid glue on something like this is because, I mean, I could have put adhesive sheets on the back of this and it would have been ready to go. Now, I don't mind that this is going off the edge because any that go off the edge, I'm going to trim. Now, this over here is going to be a little harder to do just because I have to kind of get it almost exact because it's a little harder to trim and cut. All right, so again, I'm just going back and forth with colors. All right, so this one is going to start here, and then we're going to come in with a crumb cake. So what else do you guys think that elephants might put on their tree? Let's just have a little discussion while you guys are watching me. Oops, I was out of the camera. So sorry, guys. I hope I wasn't out of the camera too long. I just looked up. So what else do you guys think an elephant might use or might put on their tree? Any ideas? Maybe even add some more leaves, right? Possibly. Oh my gosh. Okay, I think I keep scooting this down and I don't want to be, I'm going to bring you in a little bit closer, but at least where if I move it, you guys can see what I'm doing. So like I said, this does take a little bit of time, but the end result is super cute. And so for me, it was really worth all the, what you might call tedious work. But I just think, what do you guys think of the peanuts? Do you think they're turning out cute? I just think they're super cute. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is just put one last little blue peanut here at the top. All right, so then I'm going to like flip this side over and we're just going to trim that one. Oh yeah, maybe add some apples. Yeah, absolutely an elephant would, you know, probably any kind of food, right? And an elephant's going to be all about the food. All right, so here we go. Now we're going to start this other little tree, and then we're almost done, guys. Yep, peanuts are perfect. I know. I looked at this and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to use the peanuts. Because, you know, of course, I like peanuts too. It's one of my husband's favorite things to eat when we're at a baseball game is these shelled peanuts. But I don't think that the people that have to clean up once he leaves appreciates his love for peanuts at a baseball game. All right, so let's get this one on. Surprisingly cute. Yeah, I know. I was trying to think outside the box a little bit here in doing this, because I just thought that this was just super. I fell in love with these little peanuts, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have got to find a way to, you know, get this to work. Okay, so we're going to just pull this one in a little bit. Whoops. Just to make that kind of work there. Again, one of the nice things about that liquid glue. And of course, I sat in, you know, and I tell you guys this all the time. So I will sit and like watch TV or something, and that's when I do a lot of the die cutting. So this one was kind of, it didn't fit all the way. So I'm actually going to trim down one of my little blue peanuts because I might just kind of slide it. I think I'll just slide it underneath that one. Because this side, because the tree's on the inside, it's a little harder to trim it. But I wanted that color up there as well. All right. Okay. So, oh. Nope. I've got to have one of these peanuts in the elephant's trunk, right? So we're going to add a peanut right there in the elephant's trunk. And then we're almost done with this card, guys. Okay, so then what I did was oh shoot, I can't remember which linen it's, hold on. I meant to pull this over here so I could tell you which. So this is that, the natural woven ribbon. Oh, strings of popcorn. Yes, Shanine. Yes, elephants would love that. So that is that ribbon, and I just used my dark Night of Navy blending pen and colored this in. So we're going to add this at the top. We're just going to wrap that around. Hope you guys are excusing my horribly messy hands. I didn't think they were quite that messy, but they sure are. I'm still in awe of all of these ladies that can get on here and not have any messy fingers when they're doing this stuff. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, and so for this card base, I decided to use Mary Merlot. So here's the card base for this one. So because I've already kind of got this sticky, we're going to just go ahead and add this. And I will tell you, it's a little tricky getting, you might want to use liquid glue because all of these peanuts make it a little bit difficult to get, sometimes to get that Stampin' Seal on. So we're going to add this here. Whoops. All right, so that's on there. And then this is where I brought in the shaped, oh gosh, what, I forgot the name of them. The stylish shapes dies, because these have the banners that have that stitching. Can you see the stitching? Is it, my phone is not wanting to focus in. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. There we go. All right. So this has another cute little saying. And I'm actually going to bring in the Night of Navy, since we've got this Night of Navy ribbon here. And this says Happy Holidays, so I'm going to ink that up. I'm going to try to get this where it's straight to begin with. And then stamp that like so. Don't you? I really like the font on this one. Isn't that pretty? I really like that font. And of course that comes from the Trimming the Tree set. All right, so now I'm just going to take this and add it to this. That's what's nice about these dies, is you can, some people used to call them nestling dies, because you can nestle them on top of each other and they fit so nicely. Then we're just going to bring in our mini dimensionals. And again, I'm gonna try to put these in such a way that I can pretty much just straddle that ribbon that's going down the middle. So you won't see me putting any dimensionals right down the middle. All right, so let's get these off. Alrighty, and then we're going to just center this like so. So tonight I did not do my simple stamping, casual stamping, avid stamping, because tonight I did the fusion. And then for the inside, I've already got it done, but we're going to bring in that same sentiment that we used in the first one. And I'm going to bring back in my Night of Navy ink. And I've already added an elephant down here in this corner. Okay, may your season be merry and bright. And again, I really like, I don't know, do you guys, look at the font on this one. It's just so pretty. I really like that they have like the cursive, and then it goes into the, I guess you would call that kind of the block lettering. I really like this font on this one. It's quickly becoming one of my favorites. I like that mixture. And then we just put that on the inside. And voila, we are done. So what do you guys think? Do you like my little popcorn? Or popcorn. Now I'm saying popcorn, Janine. So do you like my little elephant peanut decorated trees? Super cute, right? Super cute. So again, tonight I was just trying to show you a fusion between two of the sets that are in the annual catalog. This one was decorating the tree my way, and this one was decorating the tree the elephant's way. So do you guys like it? Do you like the peanut tree? I just need to know. So again, these are the sets that I used tonight. It's the Trimming the Tree. Let me get you back out. Whoops, wrong way, wrong way. Come on, you can do it. Oh. Sometimes computers just do not want to. Okay, so we've got the Trimming the Tree, and we've got the Elephant Parade, and of course we've got the dies that went with that, and we brought in the stylish shape dies. We brought in the deckled rectangle dies. Oh, I'm so glad you guys like the peanut tree. Right? Yeah, me too. Yeah, because I mean, and those little peanuts are so stinking cute. I mean, when you see it in person, it really, you can like, all of the detail in those peanuts really stick out. I don't know if I can get it close enough so that you can see it, but it is super, super cute. So those are my 2 cards for the night. And again, guys, the reason I did this was because we have that seasonal sale going on. And I thought, gosh, I need to show them some stuff in the annual catalog that they may have missed. And hopefully I showed you a few things tonight that maybe you hadn't thought about, but is definitely in on that, the seasonal sale items. So definitely the stamp sets, the dies, the punches, and even the designer series paper that I used on the first card. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed these cards tonight. I really enjoyed making them. It was a little emotional just because of the whole meaning behind these cards for my daughter. But it brought back some happy memories for me, and especially the peanut tree just really made me giggle. And I'm not so sure that it wasn't inspired by her, you know, just putting those things in my mind, because that's the kind of card she would have done and loved to do. Anyway, guys, I appreciate all of you tonight. Again, I'm going to put this up. If you need to place an order, remember that seasonal sale is only going on from today. It started today through the 18th. So yay, Shanine, I'm glad you're considering buying the elephant set. These cards were so much fun to make. And I thought of a ton of other ones I could make with this elephant set, but I kind of wanted to show you how to take an elephant set that you don't think about Christmas, right, and turn it into Christmas. That's what I try to do for you guys. Anyway, that is my hostess code. You can order through me at juliebrown.stampinup.net. And if you need to reach out to me, you can email me at juliescreativestamping.com. But as usual, guys, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed these cards. I had some special moments making them, so they're kind of special to me. But everybody enjoy your week, and everyone, those of you that, you know, are coming, remember my regular card class is this Thursday at 10 a.m. and at 5:30. I'm not having one this Saturday because I will be out at a craft sale. But if you were planning on coming and you haven't told me you're coming yet, please let me know. I have made some extra kits, but not a ton of extra kits. Anyway, guys, everybody have a great night and a great rest of the week. And I probably will be doing it next Tuesday, right before Thanksgiving. And then we'll see what happens after that. Everybody have a great night, and I appreciate you guys as usual. Loved all your comments, and I'll be talking to you soon. Bye.